Hey, welcome in. Well, here's the latest in the death of Western civilization by a trillion cuts, all of them self-inflicted. And here's the headline. University faculty training lists perfectionism and a sense of urgency as indicators of, you guessed it, white supremacy. Now, we're going to go over a few things where you might be somewhat concerned if you found out that a sense of urgency and perfectionism were no longer required. But first, let's just get into this story. So let's see. Conference participants learned to decolonize their classes by eliminating rules around deadlines and to question the need for mastery. So why do you need to be good at anything, right? One slide tells instructors to resist colonial and neoliberal coercion around time and productivity. What does all of this mean? It means that nothing matters. It means that the authors of these training lists think that stuff just happens. Like food, you just get food. Food just happens. Where does food come from? Well, it comes from the grocery store, of course. What are you, stupid? Anyway, faculty and graduate students at Colorado University Boulder were recently encouraged to reject neoliberal concepts of time, as well as to avoid cultural norms of white supremacy, like sense of urgency and individualism in their classrooms. So this just has Marxism written all over it. Individualism, they're against that. They're against people being seen as individuals. They want everybody seen as part of a group, a homogeneous blob of humanity. Not even really humanity, just like work units. Here's your group. You are that group. You are indistinguishable from everybody else in it. Again, these people are all Marxists. I mean, hey, it's all great if you like being sent to build a railroad in Siberia or being starved to death in some class war, then it's fantastic. And this, neoliberal concept of time. I'd like to see what their concept of time is like when the barista at Starbucks decides that getting that Americano to you within 45 minutes is colonialism. Yeah, probably it's not going to be a very good scene, right? But anyway, the university's Equitable Teaching Conference, hosted by the university's Center for Teaching and Learning, convened instructors and graduate students for virtual sessions on how to use equity-minded practices in the classroom. Or you could say Marxist brainwashing in the classroom. But anyway, attendance at the conference was entirely voluntary. Faculty and instructors were not required to participate. I wonder how long that will last. So here we have the presentation slides. How to be an anti-racist. Because it used to be enough to just not be racist. Now, no. Now you have to be actively anti-racist. And basically what that means is shut up and do what we say. Let's see. How to be an anti-racist. Racism, a powerful system that creates false hierarchies of human value. Kind of sounds like the progressive stack, doesn't it? Kind of sounds like what the left does. Let's see. Cultural norms of white supremacy. So let's see. What are these cultural norms of white supremacy? Perfectionism, sense of urgency, quantity over quality. I'm not sure where they're going with that. Individualism. Again, Marxists hate individuals. But I think it should immediately strike anybody with a brain that perhaps we might need perfectionism and sense of urgency. I mean, what things might we need that for? So let's see, perfectionism and urgency. Well, an ambulance driver might need a sense of urgency. That might be something you'd expect. A fireman, perhaps? I mean, you don't really want the fireman lollygagging, right? Soldiers, you probably want to have a sense of urgency and certainly some perfectionism. Let's see, what about a surgeon? Are you sure you want a surgeon who's really not that worried about getting it just right? How about an architect? I'm pretty sure you don't want to live in this building. How about a pilot? Let's see, perfectionism, sense of urgency, check and check. How about your Uber driver? How about that? Perfectionism and sense of urgency. You might want to get there in a hurry, but also you don't want to get into a fatal car accident. How about your bank? You don't want them just losing your life savings because, stuff happens. They're not perfect. How about anybody doing anything important ever? So, I don't know. I mean, is the goal to just create a generation or generations of incompetence? A generation of people who can do nothing well, who have mastered nothing, and can't be bothered to show up anyway? Is that the goal of this? I mean, if you want to destroy civilization, sure, I guess so. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please subscribe, like, and share. That really helps me out. If you just like to listen, there's the podcast, Radio Baloney. It's on pretty much every platform. If you look for it, you will find it. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.